Okay, everyone. Well, welcome back to another episode of George and Who Am I? All right, first off, okay, I grew up in North Kingstown, Rhode Island. I was part of a military family. I was born in North Carolina, and my big thing is that it this stage of my life, I'm at the end of my work career, and why is it I decided I want to go big on YouTube? Well, I'm looking at all these people, and it's just an opportunity for one to show off some of the stuff that I do. Not saying that I'm this fancy guy, but you know what? None of them other people are either. I just seen a thing just before I clicked on YouTube Premium has a special. If you sign up now, you can watch the exclusive Who is Paris Hilton. Well, really, I don't care who Paris Hilton is. She inherited a lot of money. She just all she is a person that people pay to show up at a party. I would like to be paid to show up at a party. I am a cool guy. I like other things. I like to drink and be social, even though I don't drink. But I could if people pay me. And I have stuff. I have a lot of stuff. You can see I got a Marvel lithograph right here. I mean, so I got things that people may want, or people may need, or people might want me because I could attract a certain crowd. I don't know. I mean, how many people wear a shirt like treat every day, live every day like it's Pi Day? I that's who I am. I'm a bright, colorful person at my age. I am 59. I had a stroke 18 months ago, and I'm still healing from a lot of the things. My mouth and my left foot doesn't quite cooperate like it used to. I can no longer jump rope even though I'm trying. And for the people that used to know me, I used to jump rope very well. But so anyway, in my last video I had that I was running for president, but I found out that you can't advertise on Facebook if you're running for president. And because they said they're a non-political agency, which is funny because everything that I see on Facebook is based off of something that I call clickbait. One young person argued with me and said clickbait is not that. And I'm like, no, yes it is. Because what they do is that you post something about Joe Biden, and people are going to click on it, and then they're going to respond, and someone's going to respond back to them, and then next thing you know, you got people fighting on your post. You post something about Donald Trump, and I guarantee within 5 minutes you will have two or three people that hate you, and you have people that will unfollow you because you like Donald Trump. It's amazing that people that supported Nixon, I don't think had that problem. You, you know, People who supported Jimmy Carter didn't have that problem, but you, you know, and Barack Obama didn't have that problem. But man, Donald Trump, if you support that guy, people just flat out hate you. So you almost have to go underground. And you know what's weird? He won the president of the United States, and people still feel that way. Um, and I can't say. I don't even like to argue anymore about whether he's right. I've argued where people thought he was wrong, and I said no, he's not wrong. He's actually pretty correct. And then I've argued the fact where people thought he was right, and I said no, he's not right either. He does do some stupid things, but I'm not here to talk about that. This is more about me, and some of the things that I see. Again, I watch TV. I watch the diabolical NBA finals. I watched that game last night where people got tired. I watched the Lakers, and LeBron is causing a lot of stink. He wants to fight an MMA guy, or he doesn't want to fight him. He just says that basically the guy would do number two in his pants if he walked in the arena and seen me at the other side of the ring. Well, I don't think so. That LeBron, you're a basketball player. You're not a fighter, and I don't think that guy would have that kind of fear. Other than it would be a very highly sought after fight. I don't think that's a fight that you want to get into because one, first off, it would be a show. It wouldn't even be a real fight, and you know that because the guy wouldn't be allowed to hurt you. And then the other thing is Nike, I don't think would allow you to go in there and get pummeled. I'm not saying you can't fight, but just because you can play Street Fighter on a video game with your children doesn't mean you can go into an MMA ring and do the real thing. Unless you've been practicing that at home and no one knows about it. I don't know what you do at home, nor do I care. I don't actually care about any of the sports athletes. My favorite athlete, who he was, Denny McClain. And I'm a Red Sox fan, but if Denny McClain came up to me and said, "George, you vote for this guy," I'm sorry, I'm not going to vote just because Denny McClain tells me to. I mean, there's a lot of Red Sox I like. I like Papelbon. I like Veritek. Red Sox of the past. I couldn't even tell you who's on the team because they keep changing every year. I couldn't even tell you who the pitching rotation is because baseball is so far buried in sports because you got the NFL and the NBA and just highlighting with all this anti-sentiment stuff that's going on. Oh, we're against this and we're against that, and so it's very difficult to follow a sport without following the controversy that goes on the sidelines. So it's I couldn't even tell you who's on the Red Sox right now. All I know is every now and then the score will flash up and they got beat. I actually, to be quite honest with you, I don't even know how many wins they got. And I'm a diehard baseball fan, and I love to follow baseball. But this year here, it's just so buried underneath everything that's going on that I have no idea how they're doing. And it's October, so they got to be getting ready to start the playoffs. You would think, right? But I don't I don't see an ad for baseball's playoffs. I don't see an ad. I don't even know. Are they still playing? I mean, what's going on with baseball? So I mean that's how lost sports is. So baseball is dead. There is no baseball. Baseball has pretty much been written off everyone's lives. It's not even talked about on TV. It's I go on Facebook. I don't see any of my friends listing anything about their baseball team, whether it be the Dodgers, whether it be the Detroit Tigers or the St. Louis Cardinals. Actually, I take that back. A friend of mine just said the Cardinals won the other day, 5-1. So, but anyway, so like I said, it's but going back to who am I? Is that I go out, I have fun, I don't socialize with people. I've tried and I get like no response back. It does hurt your feelings, but it's just it's okay. I don't mind. I've made it 59 years without knowing people, and if someone doesn't want to talk to me or chat with me or go out with me, it's okay. I don't care. In high school is when you have your most friends, and yet right now with COVID-19, people said, well, kids just got to deal with the problems of not having your senior year, not going to your senior prom, not doing this, not doing that. It's like, no, I don't agree with that. I think COVID-19 is bad. I think it's very contagious, but I don't think you need to take people's lives away. And that's one of the things I don't think you need to do. It's you will never have more friends than you will in high school, and it's evident by your yearbook. Open up your yearbook and see how many people you sign. Now go out and get another book and go out and get people to sign it that and then you tell me if you can get that many people to sign it. I mean, even if you're at work and you get people to sign it, half the people really don't like you. But in high school, is where your last two friends were. So for you to tell people that, okay, you're not you're not popular, or you don't need to go to the prom, or you don't need to go to these football games, or you don't need to go to these dances, you're not thinking of the future, you're just thinking of yourself. Well, no, actually, you tried doing that when you were growing up. We had runaways. We had everything that goes on today. The only thing we didn't have was social goddamn media. When I was growing up, if I put a picture up, I could care less how many people would have liked it because, well, I was in a paper once, okay, or twice. Fifth grade, I was in a town hall picture. A lot of people came up to my parents, said, "Hey, your son looked good in that town hall. Why was he sitting with his legs crossed and just kind of?" That's because the paper guy was like right in front of me. I was in fifth grade, for heaven's sakes. I was a little nervous. You know, I wasn't like David Robinson or Lee Peltier that just was so you know, picturesque. You know, they were class leaders of my class. So I made the town council, so that had to have been something. I mean, I was in the fifth grade. I didn't actually run for hey vote for George for the town council. People voted me in. I said, yeah, I'll run, but I don't remember hanging up little signs saying you know be on the town council or anything like that. So, but you know, people did vote me in. So there had to have been something good about me. You know, whether it be that I peed my pants in the third grade, who knows? Whatever reason, I made the fifth grade town council. Okay. And then fast forward 1979, captain of the wrestling team. I was in the paper when I was wrestling a kid from Cheraho. That's right. I look very muscular. I will put it up on one of my future YouTube feeds. I was the man. I was like, yeah. And then you know what? I got one of my first girlfriends right after that. You know, she decided to go to one of my wrestling meets with me. So you know, hey, that's how it is, you know. But I can honestly say that my life would not have been any different if she said no, because she did say no 100 times, and it wasn't because of that picture. Believe me, I don't even know if she got the standard times, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It had nothing to do with any of that. Like today, kids get mad because they don't like a picture, or some kids are just brutally honest and they will say something disgusting. It's not even like brutally honest. I'm sorry for my little hiccup here, but you know it's just how it is. Okay, and so but that's today's life, and people are affected by it. Depression is all time high, suicide is an all time high, and yet you don't hear the problems, and you don't hear the problems like for instance like you know the whole parents are even into this. Oh, let me show the whole world that I'm the PTA mom. I am taking my kid to school. Well, all you're doing is you're telling a child trafficker where your kid at is at a given time when mom drops him off with a Starbucks in her hand and says, "Okay, kid, I'll see you after school," and you leave. And then you got to tag the school, you got to tag the time, you got to tag all this other stuff, and you just tagged where your kids are. You know your 4-year-old kid who just took a picture of wearing a cute little backpack. You know you just told some child thief, oh, my kid I just dropped off at school. And then when you come back, guess what? You tag the time, you tag the picture, and everything else, and they know exactly what your kid is wearing. They know exactly what your kid looks like. They know exactly where your kid is, and they know you're there. So you know what could happen is that they could actually like beat you there, pick the kid up, and be gone, and it's all because of you wanting to show the whole world that hey, I just dropped my kid off at school. Who really cares? And if that's and that is the problem that we have. You want to do something, go home and play a board game with your kid. Go home and be interactive with your child. Because if you're not, and your child is in a room, your child is on these chats that Donald Trump tried to get rid of, WeChat and some of these other ones. You know, there's like Discord, there's MeWe, there's all these other chats that there are groups on there that want to see what your daughter looks like or see what your son looks like, and then you know they're talking to them like they're their friend because they're saying, "Oh wow, look everyone," and all of a sudden all these little hearts start appearing down at the bottom. Look how good she is. Look how good she is. That ain't boosting their ego. That's setting them up to be caught. That's setting them up to do whatever. You can say, "Oh yeah, George, that's a conspiracy," but it ain't. Child trafficking is an all time high. So don't tell me that it's not. And you know what? And don't tell me it's a conspiracy. When you tell me that, I'll stop watching 48 hours because that's what it's really based on. Next thing you know, there's a kid missing for 5 years. or 6 years, and then they find their body like half a mile from where mom dropped her off at school. It's sad. It happened right here, right up the road. Some girl went jogging every day. She posted she went jogging after she worked out at the gym. Well, some idiot hit her with a tractor, ran her off right beside the road. They buried her after he tried to catch her on fire, and God only knows what he did before all that. And then and then the goofball was out there helping her try to find a person, and yet this person is the one that did it. So don't tell me it's not happening, and don't tell me I'm being overreactive, and don't tell me I'm being a prude because I'm not. It's plain and simple. And you know what? These other countries are just as far behind it. Like I just told a friend of mine in Alaska, you can have a kid on an airplane in 20 minutes and they'll be in England. You know, the child's on its way to England and you have no idea. You'll have no idea because that kid just took off. You have no idea where your kid is for at least 2 hours because you dropped them off at the movies and you had to tag everybody where your child was. So anyway, that's enough for me right now, and that's enough of my little political rant. And anyway, my name's George. I have a photo and YouTube page. I'm not always like this, but I just want to air this out, and maybe I can catch some traction. Yeah, I love photography. I love collecting sports memorabilia. I love collecting various things. I'm into colonial money right now. I'm into silver coins. Gold coins is just too expensive. I do like I said, sports memorabilia. I do the National Sports Collectors Convention. I do a lot of other things. But hey, thanks for watching, and please subscribe down at the bottom, right down here. Please subscribe down there if you don't mind. I'd greatly appreciate it. And and once I figure out how to do a question and answer thing, I think we'll do that. Anyway, well, thanks again. And if you have any comments, please leave them below. All right. It was nice talking to you guys, and have a great day.